Hi, I'm Jessica Shintelm and I'm the Director of Marketing here at North Cross School. Today I'd like to introduce you to our intranet application for parents, students, and faculty. There are two ways to get to onCampus. You can either do it through our homepage by scrolling down to the portal button, or you can navigate directly and bookmark in your browser window the North Cross app. The address is northcross.myschoolapp.com. Just by dragging it into your bar, you can set it to be a remembered bookmark and click on it whenever you need it. Here I've had the information remembered for me, so I'm going to go ahead and log in. If you have a problem with your login credentials, you can always click the Forgot Login, or your first time logging in, you can set your username and password. So I'm going to go ahead and log in here. And if you ever have trouble logging in, you can always email our on-campus help desk, which is oncampus.northcross.org. When I log in as a parent, I am brought to the featured news section. Here we have updates similar to what you'll see in Crossed Eyes. We'll also post videos and photos of different classroom activities, and you have an overview of the upcoming events and lunch menus as they're available. Since it's summertime, we really don't have too much populating this page, but it gets pretty full during the school year. If you look up here, you have access to your children's files, and that'll give you grades, schedules, and other information such as teachers. Here you have your group page. In the lower school, we keep all of our students in groups. So here you'll see first grade, fourth grade, because I have two kids, and last year they were in the first and fourth grades. Also here are the groups you're automatically joined to as a parent, which is Friends of the Arts, the Boosters Association, Counseling Information, Opening Doors, and Parents Association. Also, since I'm a lower school parent, I'm part of the lower school Spanish group. Over here is our resources page, which is where a lot of the information that doesn't change is stored. And our news, our featured content, and scoreboard are located under this tab. You can look at all the calendars for the school here, and you can access the directories for students, parents, and teachers. Now we're going to look at some features within the site. First, it's a good idea to visit your settings under your name. Sometimes if there's not a photo here, there'll be a little icon of a person. If you click on your name, you can roll down to settings, and in here you can have your login settings. Your login settings show your username, where you can change your password, what you'd like to see when you log in. And if you go down to notifications, and this is super important because without your notifications turned on, you won't be notified when certain stories that apply to your students appear. So to look at your notifications and adjust them, you can first put your preferred email address, and if you have a mobile phone number you'd like to include, you can do that here. Also, you can choose which things you want to be notified about. I have selected I want to know when there's announcements posted that apply to my children's age level. I also want to know when there's news and if there's a bulk email sent out. But I only want to receive texts if I have an announcement or if there's a message from a parent or teacher. Our privacy settings, this is where we can select what information about ourselves is visible to the rest of the school. Keep note, all the information will be in here. You just get to choose what gets visible. This is a great way to choose which address you want shown, which phone number you'd prefer people to contact you at, and what types of information you'd like visible. If you have sensitive information you don't want to share, you simply just unclick it from the box, and that information upon save will no longer be visible to those searching the directories. The resource board offers a lot of information that doesn't change about the school, such as links to our websites, our online catalog for our library, information about school supplies, summer programs, and athletic opportunities, as well as a printable version of our student and parent directory. Now let's take a look at groups. For instance, My daughter belonged to the 4th grade last year. So if I click on 4th grade, this is a sample lower school page. Here there's the homework assignment sheets that can be viewed and downloaded, as well as any news that applies to your student. Every 4th grader does their PowerPoint, and here we've posted videos of each person's individual presentation for parents to save for a later date. They've also done an interesting class project, and that's up here as well. Any photographs that are taken that apply to those grade groups will also appear here in the photographs. Now, the interesting thing about onCampus is that you can start topics. I'm going to click Expired only because we have no new topics here since the school year is currently on break. So for instance, you'll see we have the fall Halloween party that was scheduled for Mrs. Cook's room. If I click on this, we have information asking for help. The neat thing is we can post a response to this topic, and you'll notice that down here there's a lot of back and forth with people claiming different items to bring, and so you can see who's promised what to bring and what and when. The other thing that this could be used for is discussing interesting resources you found on grade level appropriate resources online, questions to the rest of your parent groups like who's great at piano lessons. If we go back, we're going to check out the calendars now. Calendars are great because you can view as much or as little information as you want. Here are my calendars. I have my 2 children's calendars. I have my own since I work for the school. And if you scroll down here, you'll see you can choose which calendars you want to see, how you want to view them, and you can even subscribe to them yourself. To subscribe, click on the individual filter feed that you would like to see on your own calendar, such as a Google Calendar or iCal. And here you'll see it automatically launches my iCal app. And in here it has a WebCal address. So if you're not using iCal, you can copy this link and import it into your Google Calendars or whatever other calendar application you use. All you have to do is choose the online calendar when you're adding a new calendar and enter this saved link information. If you go into the messaging section, you can have a new message. You can choose who to send it to. If I wanted to send it to 4th grade, I can send it to 4th grade members, and that will go to all of the 4th grade parents. I can also send it to an individual. So this is a great feature for when you don't know a person's email address, but you need to get in touch with them. Maybe it's another parent in your child's class, or maybe it's the whole class itself. Now let's go to the athletics section. If I go to scoreboard, I can see the scores from this week's games. Of course, it being the summer, there are no games. So let's do a custom range so we can just see what we're talking about here. We'll go towards the end of the school year and see what comes up in May. So here we have a list of the games played, the teams who played, if they won, lost, or had a tie, who they played against, and whatever highlights might have been taken from the game, such as who scored goals, who had blocks, etc. If you look at the grid view, you'll get a picture icon version. And sometimes coaches will choose to post a photo from the game or the team in this section. Here are little notes about the game, and you can see the stat right there. The other great thing is if I just click on varsity tennis, I get their team page, which has their entire roster, their season stats, photos, and a schedule. I'm going to take you inside one of the resources, helpful documents for parents and students. Here we have extended day agreement forms for lower school families. I even have a nice little download here that kind of reviews some of the settings information we talked about. It's a great way to get started on using onCampus by customizing the application to your preferences. The other good thing about resources is that these are customized to your kids' age group levels. So for instance, if I were a middle or upper school parent, I would also see athletic opportunities. But since I'm only a lower school parent, I only see the information that applies to me.